split between Robben Island, Paulsmore, Polesmore Prison, and Victor Verster Prison. And in celebration of this remarkable man and legend, here are 10 interesting facts about Nelson Mandela. He lived up to his name. He loved sports. He had 6 children and 17 grandchildren. He was an AIDS activist. He was married 3 times. I guess three is a charm. His favorite dish. Oh, Mandela enjoyed eating tripe, and that's the lining of farm animals. We know he spent 27 years in jail. Why are you laughing? He was a Nobel Prize winner. What? Oh, you laughing at his favorite food? And his name lives on. It says hundreds of streets have been named after Nelson Mandela. He also had a nuclear particle, the Mandela particle, a prehistoric woodpecker, the Australopithecus Nelson Mandelae, and an orchid, the Paravanda Nelson Mandela, named after him. So yeah. Oh, it also said he loved sports. So Mandela loved sports and believed that it has the power to change the world. It has the power to inspire. It has the power to unite people in a way that little else does. It speaks to youth in a language that they understand. Sports create hope. Where once there was only despair, it is more powerful than government in breaking down racial barriers. And it's also said that Mandela had nicknames. So after going underground because of his ANC activities, Mandela's ability to evade the security services earned him the nickname the Black Pimpernel. Ooh, this was after the novel The Scarlet Pimpernel, about a hero with a secret identity. In later years, Mandela also became known by his clan name Madiba. Okay. So it says Nelson Mandela lived up to his name. It says Nelson Mandela's birth name was Rolihala Mandela, which means to pull a branch off a tree and troublemaker. Wow. In his Exo tribe is Hosha tribe. Sorry. He was given the name Nelson by his primary school teacher when he was 7 years old. It was the 1920s, and African children were given English names so that colonial masters could pronounce them easily. And it says Nelson Mandela was an icon of modern South Africa, a Nobel Peace Prize winner, and one of the most respected world leaders of the 20th century. Like a diamond, he was truly one of a kind, and his smile sparkled like no other. He also had an international day named in his honor, Nelson Mandela Day, which is celebrated every year on the 18th of July as a call to action for individuals to help change the world into a better place. In celebration of this remarkable man and legend,
Well, you stopped.
no,
Well,
no, because that's
oh,
it.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
I wanted to say something, and this is something. It's something. Callers. I apologize for my let's say quietness. The last last half hour or so.
But you told them why, didn't you?
Well, yeah, I'll have to say that. Tell them again because
Okay.
people never hear what they're supposed to hear, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, so one of the things I always liked about um, Mandela, and it's one of the things I wish we would take on board as a culture, And it's something I talk about every year actually, but nobody, as usual, nobody listens. Mandela had said that when celebrating his birthday, he doesn't want any parties and the usual celebratory. Okay, not that there's anything wrong with celebration, but he wants the celebration of his life to be about community service and charity and community outreach and so on. He said, go on out and look for maybe the seniors, feed them, maybe repair their fence, cut their lawn, clean up the neighborhood. Um, and I feel like that is a much more community oriented and maybe um well, that was the approach he preferred, right? And like like every year when I talk about it, I always say I wish, like for example, I mean, you know how we have Labor Day and they have jamming. I don't know what jamming has to do with Labor Day. And every holiday or every observance is an excuse for a fete. You know. So I always repeat that every year. I always liked what Mandela stood for as far as venerating his memory and so on and his life. Make it about community and
Service.
yes, service. Yeah, that word. Yeah, that's even better. So yeah, I
Because I
thought
realized the day that they celebrate as Nelson Mandela Day um, is his birthday.
yeah.
Mm.
So he said no parties, no, no jump up and you know what I mean. Nobody's saying you can't go to the beach and hang out, but make it about community and, like you said, service. As community service, maybe charity, doing something for the village, the communal village, so to speak. You know, yeah. Thought I'd mention that. Let me see if we have any comments here. Yeah, just thought that was interesting.
So happy Nelson Mandela Day.
Last night there was this guy. I don't know if
Well,
you
not
remember.
day, Freedom Day. Let me say the correct thing because the day is July the 18th.
Last night I thought it was interesting. Last night I was watching CNN, right? And there's this guy called I forgot Blagojevich is his last name. He was a former governor of Illinois, right? Just before Obama, he was a governor, I think, around the time when Obama won, and he was the one that appointed the senator to replace Obama. And apparently, he went to jail for 10 years for. He went to jail for 10 years for selling the Senate seat. Or well, no, not selling, accepting money for the Senate seat. Like someone paid him money to, and he went to jail.
I don't
Trump,
understand.
yes,
They paid him money to
yeah,
get his seat.
to get Obama's seat, because then Obama is the president now, so the seat is empty.
Oh, so
Yeah,
somebody
so
paid that person
yeah,
to get that seat.
there's some whole bribery
Okay.
thing. Yeah,
Okay,
so
understood.
he went to jail, and he's out now, and Trump pardoned him, so he didn't even serve her whole term. Trump pardoned him, and here what's going on now. Trump wants to make him I think, the ambassador to, is it Czechoslovakia? Because Blagojevich, I think that sounds like a Czech name, yeah. And a lot of people are up in arms about that because you realize Trump seems to have an affinity for people who break the law and criminals and ne'er-do-wells, so to speak. So last time they were interviewing him, and he was comparing himself to Nelson Mandela. I think it was Jake Tapper was asking him, well, I mean, something to the effect where you think it's appropriate that you were convicted for this thing, Trump pardons you, and then now you may be appointed the ambassador for a whole country. And he said, well, Nelson Mandela was Nelson Mandela was convicted and he went to jail and he came. Yeah, so and I was just looking at the TV like, I think I said to him, listen to this guy comparing himself to Nelson Mandela. It was pretty funny.
Nelson Mandela didn't go to jail for bribery or anything. Nelson Mandela
Exactly.
went to jail for
Standing up.
standing up for what
Yes,
he believed in
exactly.
and making South Africa a better
Exactly.
place. What's
Exactly.
wrong with people? Why do they
Yeah.
always want to take the fame of people that did something for good and
I couldn't believe what I was
match
hearing.
it with their evil behavior?
I could not believe what I was hearing.
Cannot.
I'm sure that exchange is somewhere on some news site, because it was kind of eye watering to hear this guy compare himself to. It's like how sometimes people compare themselves to Jesus. Like they're, yeah, I've heard people. I'm like,
Yeah,
really?
but how
You?
can we? None of us, none, and I repeat, none of us will die on any cross for anybody, not even our own family members.
Exactly.
So what are we talking about? I do not want to live the life that Jesus lived while he was on earth. No, sir. Mm-mm. That was a rough one, but he
Yeah.
did it because that was his calling. I do not understand why we compare ourselves to anybody.
And let me see. So Loop News, we have, they had some controversy there with the Ultimate Soccer thing.
No.
Yeah, they had some. They had
You
some.
mean Marshall Monday or something like that?
No, with the competition, the Ultimate Soccer. That that's what they're calling Soccer Monarch now. But someone pulled out and then went back in, and then some. I don't know. So in St. Martin, two young boys severely attacked by dogs in a home in St. Martin. Wow. I wonder what that's about. Um, two minors were severely injured in a dog attack on St. Peter's Road on Saturday evening. Oh, it's funny, and they're just bringing up this anyway. An 11-year-old boy was found. Oh my God, was found severely mauled by two dogs inside a residence, while a 14-year-old boy who managed to escape suffered bite wounds to his lower legs. The St. Martin Police Force said they received multiple emergency calls at approximately 9 p.m. regarding the incident. Upon arrival, officers found the 11-year-old boy with the two dogs standing near him. Police Police said to reach the child and eliminate the threat. Officers were forced to put down the dogs. Both boys received emergency first aid at the scene. Wow.
I saw something where
Whoa.
I can't remember the lady, but I know she has a. She's either. Oh my gosh, she's a representative or something. She said she had to put down her dogs too because it ate the neighbor chickens and then it tried to attack her kids. So she realized she had to do something. I think she shot the dog
Yeah, the neighbor's
in
chicken.
defense. Yeah,
Oh boy.
because I guess it was acting erratically. I saw it last night, but I didn't. See, sometimes when
Mm-hmm.
you see things, you just have to pick it up right away. I didn't think it was of relevance, but it's funny that you speak of that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
she
it's
said she had to put her dog down, and it's her dog. So
and it's funny, a few times I remember one about 3 weeks ago I went jogging, and maybe the one day I got in that week or whatever, and a guy was coming now with a dog. He was walking with his dog, right? And I was like, boy, I don't remember if it was on a leash. I don't think it was, but I remember thinking, and he looked like a pit bull, or one of those really aggressive dogs. And I was a little apprehensive because I just hope that dog doesn't happen to go crazy when I.
pass by. But the person
Yeah.
had it on a leash, right?
No, they didn't. I don't think. No,
Oh,
they
so it
didn't.
was just
But it
walking
was through the
beside him.
cane field, so I don't know. Maybe he figured.
Oh, in case of anything, you
And
could tell the dog charge.
he probably no. I mean, maybe he figured it's unlikely I'm gonna meet anyone. So,
Oh, okay.
which I understand. I mean, even if he had bitten me, I would have kind of understood that the likelihood of running into someone
Hmm.
in the cane field might have been. I'm
But
saying cane field, but
but
yeah,
with a certain
former cane
caliber
field.
of dog, right? Especially those dangerous kinds.
Mm-hmm.
My ears, for some reason, is hurting me. Shouldn't they be subjected to a leash though?
Yeah, I guess.
Because
I
you never
guess.
know. Because
I guess.
imagine you just a normal person enjoying your walk. What if the dog think because of the area they're walking in you're considered a bad person? Somebody he
True.
doesn't know.
True.
And
True.
he takes off after you. You try to run, but
True.
then
I
he's quicker than you.
I just tried to go on
Same.
the opposite side of the trail.
Uh, I just think certain dogs, to me, once you're walking your dog, it should be on a leash.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna just subject it to the dogs that we think are bad or indifferent. So I
Yeah.
think all dogs, once you're walking your dog, it should be on a leash.
Yeah. Okay, so I don't know if you saw this. My friend says all dogs are to be on a leash if they are in the public
See?
domain. I agree. I agree. I
Mm.
agree.
Yeah.
I agree. I imagine though he probably would have had it on a leash.
Mm.
He possibly would put it on a leash when he came out of the field, you know.
Yeah, but
But it
what
wasn't on a
because you
leash. Hmm?
I get the point walking
Mm-hmm.
it away from the public, but you never know who can show up
Yeah,
where.
I agree. I agree.
You never know, and those dogs don't play.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if you saw this story, and I think this is going to be interesting. Sankis and Navy secures a 20 million US dollar loan for
Yeah.
geothermal.
I mentioned it. I think I read it in its
For
entirety.
yeah, you
Yeah.
read it already
Mhm.
on here?
Yeah.
Oh, so when I was busy. Oh my
Yeah.
God.
I
So.
did that. I did the bus.
Mm-hmm.
I spoke about the mercury in the regional fish. I spoke about the young lady that got stabbed in Nevis.
Okay.
Wishing her speedy recovery, and because she had to do an emergency surgery for her baby
Mm-hmm.
because she was pregnant too. And to me, that person is stabbed in the abdomen. I want to speculate. I want to say things, but I can't.
But you know what's funny?
'Cause that's wicked.
Yeah, I'm just okay. Okay, so they've finally secured funding.
Hmm.
But I don't wanna sound like I'm criticizing them. So let me not say anything. I was just gonna
Let's
say
wait and see.
no. What I was gonna say is to me, this is something we probably could have funded ourselves. You know,
With
to
how?
keep the well the SIDF or whatever they're calling it now, the CBI funds. I mean, 20 million US is that's what 54 million EC. That's you know.
Mm.
But this is still good to see. So geothermal exploration, just to recap, in the Federation began with an initial 17 million loan from the CDB, which helped kickstart the drilling phase. However, additional funding was required to fully support the project's progression. So I like this. I'm not really criticizing. It's just that I felt like a lot of these things could have been self-funded, especially if that been done a lot further back when they were arguably more,
Mm.
under less financial pressure as far as what was in the CBI coffers. You
Mm.
know, just saying. But good. It's good.
But what if it takes?
Hmm?
Because we are taught to use the bank's money and not our own. What if the monies that were in the CBI? What if the wind farm costed all of that? Then what will we have? We'll have to start back over from scratch.
Um, I'm not following. You mean, for example, like the wind farm that was supposed to happen? You mean
Hmm.
instead of bringing in
No, I'm
the?
saying if
Mm-hmm.
we use all of the monies, let's
Mm-hmm.
say the wind
Oh,
farm
even
costs
some,
all
even
that
half.
money,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
but then where we get the next half from?
No, well, they got funding, so
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it's
what?
better to use somebody else's
Mm-hmm.
and pay back and keep yours for a rainy day. And
Mm.
no, because we're taught to use the bank's money and don't use
Mm.
ours.
Okay. Okay. I'm like I said. I'm not really criticizing it because I like to see this. So I really hope that we really start to see this getting built out because um, a big hue and cry was made about how much potential it has for generating income for us and so on. So
Mm-hmm.
I really want to see this happen, and I really want to see St. Kitts and Nevis put the politics and the insularity aside so that everybody can benefit, including the other Caribbean islands, because that was one of the things
Yeah.
that was one of the things that was played up that we could wind up providing electricity,
Mm.
energy for a lot of surrounding islands. So I really want to see that. Someone said that funding is a drop in the bucket for geothermal. So what part of the project is that going to fund? Hmm.
Really?
Now, if they're putting in money, then it's unclear. They haven't said.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good point because they said they got funding, but is that all it needs? Is it that the government is putting funds and they haven't mentioned it? So yeah, this person raises a good point.
Mm.
Um,
So that mean that money can't buy anything, not even a couple more wind turbines.
No, the geothermal will be. Remember, that's where they're gonna be using the heat from the,
The earth.
yeah, to turn turbines and then generate electricity. Um, this person says I want to see it happen too, but no one told us how much the project will cost. Yeah, the devil is always in the details with
Oh
these
my
guys. But
God.
you know, it's a good look. So let's see if that really, if it gets off the ground, and we could have electricity costs really going down, because it's kind of bad to see. Oh, okay, I'm just gonna say this. I don't know if you might agree with me, but I notice a stark difference between a lot of small business people in town, right? Who have boutiques and so on. They can't afford to have air conditioning, whereas the bigger stores and some of the bigger stores owned by people who don't look like us, they have air conditioning. You'll see there's a clothing store. There are a couple clothing stores on 4th Street and elsewhere, and it always struck me. This is something I always thought about. I said, "Wow, imagine you have a clothing store and you can't even afford to run the AC because it's so, you can't afford to have air conditioning because it's so expensive." So hopefully, when this gets built out, that's one. I really hope it means that the electricity cost is going to drop.
You know.
You know,
What
sometimes
do
it's
you think the powers? Because
no. I mean that contrast was never lost on me.
because
There's
the
a
people
yeah,
that don't look like us, as you say,
mm-hmm.
they have people that are behind them. They have people that fund these things.
Well, yeah, they're people because they're together, right? They work together.
Oh my!
We don't. Has to be said.
I was trying to go around that
No,
somehow.
there's no no need. Hey, listen, you need to go back and listen to Money Matters from yesterday.
Oh, okay.
This lady from Antigua, and they were
Uh-huh.
talking about all the things that I talk about,
Mhm.
that people say all sorts of things about,
Mhm.
and they were talking because it was about reparations and so on,
Mhm.
and how that ties into the fact that we are not a landed people, and we don't have any generational wealth because of slavery and so on. So
What is that?
so I thought it was a very interesting.
So how do these other people that ended up in paid slavery have generational
Well,
wealth?
it's not slavery. It's indentureship. It's different.
Paid slavery.
No, it's not slavery.
Paid slavery.
No, not gonna accept that
Why not?
because it's not slavery. That's a
I'm sure these people worked more than what
Oh,
they were worth.
you're talking about you mean like no. You mean
No.
like the
Okay.
oh you're talking
They
about
gave
the
it a fancy name. Indentured servants, right?
oh you're talking about way back then, just after
Yeah.
slavery. Oh, okay, I thought you were talking about okay.
Not no, no, not
Oh,
at
okay.
all. Not at
Well,
all.
it's yeah in the in indentureship,
And
yeah.
those people came from that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure they worked more and they were
It
worth
was
more
it
than
was
they were
voluntary. No,
paid.
it was voluntary. They weren't. It wasn't compulsory for them to come out here. They asked them, "Do you guys
Okay, but they
want to
came
come out
out
and work for some
for a
years
few money,
to the
little bit of
Caribbean,
monies.
Africa as well?"
Mm-hmm.
And so it's a completely different thing. It's not
How
slavery.
though?
It's slavery because they didn't have to come. They had the option to say no.
Understood,
Mm-hmm.
but they started from little, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they have a lot now, right? So
Yeah.
what happened to us being paid after we were enslaved?
Mm-hmm.
Why is it we couldn't make that little become a lot? Why? Why are we always looking for the easy way out with our color?
I think you're being hard on us. Take for
Yes,
example,
I
I
have to
know.
be hard on us because
I.
we can
Mm,
do just exactly. Why does it have to be that only I'm just guesstimating or estimating here, okay?
just wait.
Why does it have Why does it have to be that just 10% of us can have money and know how to turn it over? And if we do have money, we're not
Go back and listen to Money Matters yesterday. They talked about all of that. How
I'm not giving us an
there are
easy
all
pass.
no there are all these structures in place to
Prevent us?
Yes. Take, for example, in Jamaica, I remember, and I just read this last year actually. I kind of suspected it, but I read it. Um, Apparently, after indentureship, the British, and not Jamaica alone,
Mm-hmm.
the British purposely saw to it that banks and credit institutions provided. That happened in Africa as well, like Ghana, Kenya, Uganda, all those places where a lot of East Indians ended up. And even the Chinese, the British government saw to it that they had concessionary loans to start businesses, and of course that was not provided to us.
So
This
why
is
was
this
it,
is this is
why
a, this
wasn't
is
it
a
why wasn't it
historical
provi-
fact.
Okay. So
I,
why did they not see it fit to provide it for us? This is what I
Well,
don't understand. Why is it
do I really have to explain that to you, Kay?
No. But I'm just saying, why? I just think we just are people that just, I don't know.
I'm not saying there isn't some blame to go around on our sides, but then you so almost sound like you're blaming the victim.
Blaming what victim? Us?
Yes.
No. Yeah.
I'm
in a
not
way.
saying there
In
aren't
a
some
way,
things.
because how
I'm not saying
come
there aren't some things we
how-
can't approach better, but you have to understand that the let's say the economic and social position we now find ourselves in was not entirely of our making. I mean, we were kidnapped and brought over here. Remember?
understood?
Mm-hmm.
And I am, well, not we,
Mhm.
them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Don't say
Mhm.
we, because I was. I don't know. I just look at
Well, I
things
have to say-
differently. I just think.
I have to say we, right? Because as much as them folks like to extricate themselves, those the ones alive don't say, oh well, I never had slaves, or I never did this, or I never did that. That's not how God sees it. In the sense
So
that
how could we blame somebody?
no,
that
no,
never-
no, wait. Well, take that up with God. God said that. There's scriptures in the Bible that talk
go ahead.
about. There's
I'm
scriptures in the Bible that talk about curses falling on the
Yeah, the
the fat.
children.
Right. So whatever we think, take it up with God. Because those people can say, well, that's my father, or that's my grandfather. It has nothing to do with me, but that's not how God sees it, right?
That's. I just still think we look for the easy way out, because I think we can do so much better. We can do so much better, and then the fact that you rightfully said we do not support each other, because we'll have a mart right there, and we'll walk
You
10
know-
steps down the road to the other mart, and leave our
And,
mart.
that's
there.
one of the most intractable problems we have after all this time where we've had time to maybe learn a little bit about ourselves and analyze our condition and try to make our condition better, and we don't seem to be working on that particular problem, at least with the same energy that we like to go on fat and waste money and
You see, and then
and
then I'm
I-
supposed to empathize. How?
I don't know.
We don't have our priorities straight. All of our ducks are not in a row. Okay, we're gonna take
Well,
a break.
no, Doc, I like that one. That's a good one. That's a good one. I like that one. Coming right back.
We're different. We're 98.9. 98.9. Win FM.
It's the sale you've been waiting for. Happening now. Discounts galore at your favorite Hosford store. Hosford's Furniture and Appliances, Ashley's Furniture Home Store, Hosford's Building and Nevis Centers, and Hosford's Auto Parts and Accessories. Get ready for discounts galore. Store discounts, big discounts, small discounts, VAT discounts, and more. We're slashing prices with at least 4% VAT off and up to 20% off store-wide on furniture, appliances, auto parts, building materials, and hardware, and so much more. Discounts galore across all Hosford stores. And that's not all. Customer discounts and even Value Club member savings mean the deals just keep getting better. Whether you're upgrading your home, tackling your next project, or fixing your ride, Hosford's has you covered. Take advantage of the discounts galore at all Hosford stores today. At Hosford's Furniture and Appliances, Ashley's Furniture Home Store, Hosford's Building and Nevis Centers, and Hosford's Auto Parts and Accessories. Hurry in! These offers won't last long. Don't miss out on the biggest savings of the year. Visit any Hosford store now and start saving with discounts galore in every store. Big deals, big savings, and more. Terms and conditions apply.
Valentine's Day. Visit us at the Koi Building at Airport Road today. Show your love with Jimmy Florals. Shop online at your convenience at stkitsnevisflorist.com. Call us at 766-9189. Place your order now and save big. This Valentine's, shop with Jimmy Florals. We deliver island-wide in St. Kitts and Nevis.
Found the sound. 98.9. FM.
Rhymes the good food people always there to serve you. Rhymes the good food people locations right near you. Rhymes the good food people in store specials for you. Rhymes the good food people. Rhymes. When you need better service, Rhymes is always here. Better value, better prices. Rhymes is always here. You want your loyalty. Rhymes is always here. We are community. We are family. We are family. Rhymes for you and me. We are community. Rhymes for you and me.
Hey kids, drink healthy.
Reduce sugar chubby with the same great taste. Lots of magic fruity flavors, drink from more healthy way.
It tastes so yummy, chubby, chubby.
25% less sugar chubby. Be active, be healthy, drink lots of chubby. Kicking football, playing cricket, having fun in the sun.
It's chubby.
Reduced sugar chubby keeps you cool and refreshed.
It tastes so yummy, chubby, chubby.
25% less sugar chubby. Jumping rope, running races, have fun.
It tastes so yummy, chubby.
Drink the more healthy way.
So we are back, and now just letting folks know if you are interested in, maybe plugging, pitching your business, good service, call 466-9586 and make a booking so you can get on Island Tea, or you can advertise with Win FM. We're here for you, and this week is Love Week on Friday, and there's going to be a lot of
You have your red and white ready?
there's nothing really manly about red and white. I don't know.
How could you say such a thing?
I said what I said.
Oh my God.
But what?
Oh,
I mean,
boy.
come on.
Okay.
Red and white. Okay, just red and white. It's not a color that really looks good on. It has to be something really. This, I guess, the style of whatever it is you're gonna wear just has to. It has to bring it. Style wise to look good on a man. I don't know. Red and white. I mean, like it could be like a shirt that has maybe more white with red highlights or whatever, but I don't know. That whole red thing, that's like a woman thing. I don't know.
You can wear a red and white shirt and it'll look nice.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah, one of those white shirts that have the reds like going like that. Like the waves in it. Oh my gosh. You're not envisioning my pattern, okay?
So
Yeah.
so what are you doing on Valentine's Day?
Nothing. I was trying to nothing at all. I was trying to figure out why were those colors that we have on Valentine's Day, why are they associated with Valentine's? And they said it's from mythology, history, and cultural traditions.
Well, I guess red is the color of love too, right?
Yeah, the
And
color,
passion and
the color of blood, which
Mhm.
represents love, passion, and
Mhm.
romance. Look at you
Mhm.
knowing your stuff. See, that's
but
all
but
merry for
everybody
you to
knows-
wear
but
some
everybody
red and
knows
white.
that. Everybody knows that.
What?
I mean, the red and all that.
I wonder why they put red with love.
Yeah. It makes sense. Red or
How?
pink. Sometimes pink is one of the
Okay,
colors. Yeah.
give me how does red?
Well.
Red doesn't signify love at all. When I think of the The native people.
What are
of-
you, a communist?
No.
You know, because you know, red is the color of like China, communist China, Russia under.
So then you
The
see, red
Soviet Union
don't signify
under-
no love.
It's the color for labor as well. No. When I say labor, I didn't mean like the party. I meant like the whole labor, the whole labor move, international labor
Listen,
movement.
you don't have to
and so on.
defend anything because almost all the labors in the region are red.
All right.
So you don't have to defend anything.
Actually, not all. I think the one in Antigua is not Antigua. Barbados
I
is
was
a different
just
color.
about to get.
Is this,
What's
isn't
the
it-
color? What's the color?
But isn't the Jamaica Labour Party? I'm pretty sure it's not red. I'm sure it's another color.
Orange or green?
Something like that. Yeah.
Mm.
hmm
Uh,
Yeah, but yeah, red. I'll go with the love. I like red being the color of love.
when I think
Love-
about red
love-
and the natives that were murdered, and think of all that red running down, they weren't thinking about any love.
Love is the purest emotion. So
It is?
I feel it. Yeah, don't you think?
I don't think so. Empathy is.
Isn't there like a whole Bible verse about love?
Yeah.
Which when you process it, you're like, yeah.
Mm.
If all those things apply to a situation or a person, yeah, that's love.
Yeah, but see, Barbados Labour Party is red and gold.
Oh, it's red and gold.
You're here. They're golden.
Red and gold.
Red and
Oh,
gold.
okay.
Mm-hmm.
So they're Labour and Pam then.
Oh, Jesus. They're red and gold. Red and gold.
Red and gold.
Mhm.
So it's gonna be interesting to see.
When is Jamaica's election though?
I know it's sometime this
Because
year.
they have big campaigning going on.
I know it's sometime this year.
Yeah, Jamaica Labour Party is green.
I did see something that I wanted to talk about. I saw something. Oh God, what was it about again? With what's his name? The Prime Minister. What's his name again?
Andrew Holness?
Holness. Yeah. Something I saw on the weekend. I was like,
Yes.
Oh.
Boy. I saw it too with him and two other gentlemen, right?
and they were, what were they talking about
Oh my
again?
gosh.
Something to do with Trump or something?
No, something. I don't think it's with that name you called. No.
Yeah, he was sitting down talking about something. I said, oh, that might be something that people might be interested in.
Oh my gosh.
So there was a story yesterday. There have been these stories. I guess you've heard about Elon Musk kind of just running up in government agencies and doing as he likes. There was an article that Musk sent out on, a list. Remember that list we went through yesterday? But German sent me a list that an article that basically countered that narrative. He was saying that let me read it. So yesterday, folks, if you remember, I was talking about how we were going through this list of things that USAID was paying for around the world. And you know, on its face, some of it sounded kind of questionable, right? And I was thinking, wow, if this stuff is true, then there are no good actors in American politics, because you know we tend to think of the Republicans as the bad guys, right? But Jermaine had sent me this article yesterday, so I want to read a bit of it. So this is why you really have to seek out both sides and find out what the truth is, because the way Musk et al. Are presenting these funds that have been provided in aid for all these different countries and different projects, and so you get the impression that they're wasting the money or whatever. Anyway, so it says, this is from NPR. It says, how conspiracy theories about political led Trump to cancel subscriptions. Less than 24 hours after misleading and false claims about the politics and policy-focused political news outlets started circulating on the social media site X earlier this week, the White House press secretary promised action. No, what I should say is that one of the first things that came to light was that $8 billion was being paid to Politico. And I remember even when I saw it, I'm like, why is Politico getting $8 million a year? That sounded like a lot for a news site. Anyway, so to continue. Oh, and USAID is who paid that, right? So, okay, let me see. By the next day, the White House had directed the federal agency in charge of contracts to pull government subscriptions to two political services as well as some other media outlets, according to Axios. President Trump's first term was marked by hostility toward journalists, and in his second term, right-wing social media influencers are declaring, "We are the media now." On Tuesday, that was yesterday, Semaphore reported that Politico had trouble with its payroll system. Within hours, pro-Trump influencers started speculating and asserting that the payroll issue was related to the recent funding freeze at U.S. Agency for International Development, the Federal Foreign Aid Agency, and this was the first thing that Jeremy was explaining to me this was the thing that he pointed to. So, ex-users shared screenshots from usaspending.gov, a website that tracks federal contracts, to bolster misleading claims that Politico was getting government subsidies. A framing White House press secretary, Carolyn Levitt, repeated at a press conference on Wednesday. Let me hold that thought. We have a call. Oh, wow, the person hung up. Call, I was about to take your call, so you can call back. So, she said, "I was made aware of the funding from USAID to media outlets, including Politico, who I know has a seat in this room," Levitt said. "I can confirm that the more than $8 million taxpayer dollars that have gone to essentially subsidize subscriptions to Politico on the American taxpayers' dime will no longer be happening." In a statement, Politico said it has not taken a dime of subsidies or grants from the federal government. So in short, what Jermaine explained to me is that the federal government pays for subscriptions from news sites and so on.
Mm-hmm.
I guess it's a way of them knowing what's going on and having the news at their fingertips and so on. But also you could also say that you could also point out the fact that, and I don't know if this is good or bad, that probably all the sites that they subscribe to are left wing or left of center sites.
Mm-hmm.
Politico is considered, well, I remember reading Politico is considered a right of center site, so I don't know. But I did see a list. I saw a list yesterday with a whole bunch of different sites that the government was paying. But I'm wondering, why is USAID paying for those? Shouldn't it be like another government agency? You know, it didn't seem to track with what USAID's remit is to me. I'm like, something like that shouldn't it maybe? I don't know. Caller, go right ahead.
Good morning.
Hey, morning.
Morning.
Hey,
How are
what's
you?
up?
Yes,
Mhm.
I'm good.
Yeah.
Jam, so
Hey.
why do you buy into the propaganda
Let
of
me
the
hear.
Trump
Let me
team?
hear where he's coming
Huh?
with now. I'm saying, let me hear where he's coming. I said, let me hear where you're coming with now.
Yeah, I mean...
No, I'm not buying into
You
it
can
because
find
I said if
any-
true. I said if true.
No, but
Mhm.
well, no. It's not just today. I think you did it yesterday too. It's you can find any government department, not just in the States. You can think of anywhere here too, where you will find some untoward, whether subscription or payment, whether for consultancies or anything that seems outrageous. So you can look at, or you can comb through USAID books, and you'll find something that is really outrageous, really terrible. And you can pick that out and then brand the whole agency, the whole government department with that. It's totally unfair.
No, I wasn't buying into it because maybe I didn't say it, but I remember thinking, knowing these guys, I should wait for more information. And German did provide more information because I knew there was more than what I was seeing. But don't you agree though that why is it USAID is the one paying for these subscriptions? Shouldn't it? I mean, it didn't seem like the government agency.
No, it seemed in tune with what USAID is about, which is projecting U.S. Interests and
Okay.
philosophy and all of that.
Okay.
In foreign, it's just like, let's say, I don't know who.
But shouldn't it be the State Department?
I don't
then?
know who.
Well, technically,
supports Voice of
they're part
America,
of the
for
State
instance.
Department, so I guess, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You know,
Okay,
because
all right.
everybody knew that Voice of America was a propaganda piece, but it was regarded as money well spent because it countered, the left's narratives. Okay, but what concerns me more is this idyllic view of the United States as this bastion of freedom and capitalism and democracy. It's been shattered. I do not understand how one man can have his way so much. One man in the greatest country on earth, the most powerful country on earth, can have his way without any challenge.
And you know what's
This
crazy?
is
You
what I find
realize,
hard
and you realize
to comprehend.
you realize there's no recourse for the next. Let's not even count the midterm. There's no recourse for the next 4 years. That's crazy.
But that's what I'm saying. I mean,
Yeah.
what would America look like after 4 years of this? What would the world look like after 4 years of that? That's the scary thing.
I mean, they might have to
right?
use it.
And the Republicans just fall into lockstep, and the Democrats are fearful. It's like they've retreated now that they've gotten that beaten. Okay, and it's essentially because of they basically yielded to this woke thing and yielded on immigration and those things, right?
Y'all
And
gotta
now
stop
they've
using
gone the other way.
Y'all gotta stop using woke wrong.
Especially,
we know the context in which it is used.
yeah, yeah.
Right?
Well, I want you to weigh in on the story we're reading about the geothermal funding. I mean, what do you think?
I don't know. See, I'm like you on this. When it happens, I believe it when I see it. This has been going on too long now. They had funding for different phases before, and supposedly, if you believe the opposition in Nevis, a lot of that went into some law firm. It just seems.
And I
Why is
find,
this different?
and
Put it
I
that way.
find a friend of mine, and I read the comment. He pointed out, and I didn't even really think of it until he pointed it out. Okay, it's 20 million, but the article doesn't tell us whether is that the total sum needed or is it that they got 20 million funding and whether or not they're going to be putting in some money, right? So there's a lot of things we don't know. Also, the article mentioned the fact that they had gotten funds from CDB before, and I remember at the time,
15 million, yeah.
yeah, I remember what the CDB had said was that will be a grant if it turns out that the drilling proves that the
Right.
the
a
source
viable
is
project.
yes, exactly.
It's productional and so
Yeah,
on.
and they didn't
yeah.
even mention that again. So I don't know. So I'm assuming.
Right. So
yeah,
I guess it's 20 million on top of that now. I don't know what is it 20 million to do. It wasn't so you're telling me the 17 million before was just to do
Yeah.
geological
So I
stuff and
guess
so on, and not actual drilling.
yeah. So I guess we have to assume that the money can be considered a grant because they've now proven that the geothermal
Exists.
yeah, and that it's feasible. Yeah. So
They have actually proven that. You've heard an announcement to that effect.
yeah, pretty much, yeah. They kind of knew before, but CDB said, well, okay, I think they asked them to drill another well or something, and
And that
Listen,
has been done.
I think so, yeah,
I
it
didn't
seems
see
so.
any- I
It
didn't
seems
see
so.
anybody. I didn't see any announcement that they were drilling
It
any
seems so.
well.
I mean,
Test well?
15, no, but that was a while back. 20 million US is a lot to drill a test well, right? I think that phase is but we need more information. That's the upshot of this.
I don't know.
We-
This just seemed like a black hole.
Yeah.
It would be nice if it comes because definitely that would lead to cheaper energy and so on.
Yeah.
Okay, and the spin-off.
Oops. Okay, wait. I was trying to.
Hello?
Yeah, I was trying to get another call in there. So caller, just hang on. We, as soon as Mr. Mac comes off, I'll come to you.
Yeah,
They-
I'm just saying
Yeah.
that we've had too much. We've been going down that rabbit hole too much.
Yeah.
Now, let's hope that it actually comes to fruition. Somehow, this time, this year. Otherwise, we
I was telling.
it's going to just lead to
Yeah.
more cynicism.
I guess you heard me. I
I'm
was,
just throwing money at something like that
yeah.
and nothing coming.
I was telling Cortez
Yeah.
here earlier about the same thing you just mentioned. It always struck me sometimes I walk through Bastia and you see the small, I don't know if you heard me earlier, you see the small business people, maybe with boutiques and so, and they have no AC. And it might seem like a small thing, but I know, and the reason for this is probably because electricity is expensive. And you may not even be making enough money. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
you want to cut your overhead.
Yeah, exactly.
So
So I'm really hoping that this gets off the ground. So that
and of course it would have a big impact on something like the switch to electric vehicles, because if we have cheaper electricity, I would imagine that would help in that regard.
Exactly.
So
Good point.
I mean, to me, that should have been pursued along. It's been going on for years and years now, but I think it lacked urgency and seriousness, and until we actually see something coming out the ground, and because I don't even think that this money can build the power plant itself.
Yeah,
Gonna
well,
produce the
but
electricity.
hear what my friend says here, and he says that's the issue right there. The heat needed requires drilling deep into very hot and abrasive environment. So, yeah, drilling alone is costly. Then the transmission of that power. So, I mean, you could imagine just running the cable from Nevis to St. Kitts alone is a whole. I mean, granted, it's not a big distance.
Well,
but,
I mean, even forget about St. Kitts for now. Just, I mean, having it in Nevis itself would be a good thing for the island.
Yeah, of course. Yeah,
Even-
absolutely.
I mean, I don't see why the transmission should be such a big deal. It's just
He was just saying that that's an additional cost as well, because you have to go and pay for that, the undersea cable to run between the two islands. Yeah. And then, well, I mean, that's further down the road, but then then you have to look at, for example, after we're up and running and we have this cheap power, then we have to start, I guess, marketing it to the other islands and see who is interested, and then you have to.
We've gone way ahead of ourselves.
But that's what I said. Well, yeah. We got
Look,
for real.
You know what's missing from all of this? Timeline.
Yeah.
You realize there are no timelines. Everything is open-ended.
Yeah.
That alone should tell you something.
We might all be in the ground before it gets off. Before it gets off the ground, right?
I mean, it's really, I don't know. I don't know why they keep dangling things like these in front of people.
Yeah.
Either get the thing done, get some action going, or shut up. Keep quiet.
I'm going to be optimistic this time,
Okay, like last time.
Well,
like so many times last time.
I like to give them chances. I mean, the fact that this was news, and they had the energy minister meeting here last week, so I imagine maybe that was one of the things that came out of that. I'm assuming.
But just look at something like the solar plant, for instance. How long we've been talking about that? You think that is accepted technology? That's proven technology.
Yeah, Kay
You would
mentioned
think
that.
that something like that would have been, you could have hit the floor running with that, right?
Yeah.
And look at where we are still. So couldn't you imagine something like geothermal, which is still, and what that person said was true. It's a really bad environment when you go deep, right? Because I remember that boiling mud thing in St. Lucia, right?
The
One of
sulfur
the problems
springs.
I heard that they had when they tried to capture the geothermal source, the source from it, was that it corroded the drilling equipment. Okay, and so there are lots of things that are up in the air with this. Okay, but I don't know. They keep dangling these things, and nothing comes of them, right? Why not bring the solar thing in the meantime? What could be keeping something like that back
I
when
agree.
you already have proven technology?
I agree. And I also felt that I was telling Kay earlier. I felt like some of these things could have been, even that solar thing, could have been funded out of our own money rather than having to. Okay.
What do you think about that, caller? Using our own money.
Using our own money? Yeah.
Really?
To me, right? If we had this source of millions, hundreds of millions of CBI money, that was exactly the kind of thing to invest in.
Exactly.
Okay?
This
Our
bonanza
money
that they kept
and-
crowing
and-
about, right?
and our money and it's going towards being energy, well, certainly at least towards being self-sufficient in green energy. I mean, you would think that would have been something that everybody put their arms around and really go after. But I don't know, there's just too much photo upping and, what you call it, using the buzzwords and those kinds of things, right? It's the politics of it, I think, that gets murky and prevent us from actually getting something done. Because don't forget, if the project was so feasible, you would think that there'd be investors from somewhere jumping over each other, trying to get in on the action.
Well, you know what
I
someone
believe
told
it's
me?
because it's still kind of iffy.
You know what someone
why
told
that
me?
hasn't happened.
Someone told me the reason why that it's been taking so long is that apparently some of the financiers, the kind of accountability controls they want. I'll
Guarantee more. That's a
Yes.
euphemism for guarantees.
no
They
meaning
want-
meaning
they want us to guarantee.
they need to know exactly where the money is going in a very let's say granular way. And
Well, yeah, right. I could see that, but I would imagine something like the CDB loan, for instance. I think they have those kinds of controls built in,
yeah.
right? And that's why I say I'm surprised that there aren't timelines attached to this. Definite timelines attached to these big sums, because I mean these sums are nothing to sneeze at,
Yeah.
right? And you can't tell me you can put out that outlay and then you get nothing back for it. Okay, that's why I say if it was really that feasible, investors would have been trying to get in on it to get some return on the investment. But it is still a hit and miss thing, I think, even at this stage. And so they're cautious, okay? What they would
Yeah.
probably want when they say the checks and balances that you're talking about, the accountability things, is they probably want some kind of guarantee. They want us to guarantee that, well, if we put in 100 million and nothing comes of it, we get back some kind of
Actually,
half or
actually,
whatever.
that wasn't what the person was talking about. They apparently what they were saying. They feel that it might be a situation where they want to make sure that the money doesn't go where it's not supposed to go.
And based on the fact that millions have been poured into it already, and that is questionable as to where the money went in that. I can see that.
Yeah.
Right, I can understand that. I don't know. There's just too much. There's too much lack of transparency, if you want to put it that way. There's a lack of transparency
Yeah.
when it comes to these multi-million-dollar stuff and accountability. It just isn't there.
Speaking of which,
No?
when did Congress say the plant here on the Bay Road was going to start? The desal plant. He said the first quarter, right?
Isn't it started?
Well, I don't know. I don't know.
Huh?
I don't know. Well, I mean, I was just wondering. I know. I'm wondering if he may have said the first quarter it was going to start, because yeah, I mean, I drive past there, and so I guess that means those.
Have you noticed activity there?
I haven't seen any, which is not to say there isn't any, but I haven't. There's nothing that I've noticed. That
Again, timeline. You know, nobody wants imagine doing a project and not having timelines on it. I mean, you can be throwing money forever at it, right? I do not understand, I mean, how you could have a major project and don't have some kind of timeline attached to it.
And
That-
this,
that-
I mean, the
to me,
school,
that goes
Bastille,
against the grain.
yeah, and Bastille
of-
High
of
School
project planning.
Bastille High School is a case in point, you know.
Well,
we-
even the hospital. How many times they're going to clear the land and let grass grow back up before they finally get the construction going? If you're doing soil testing, do you have to clear the whole land? If you're doing contours, do they have equipment that can, and even with brush on the land, can gauge the contours, and so I can do the proper design and so on?
They certainly can. You can
I
use
mean-
you can use lasers for
You
that.
got to ask yourself, well, boy, if at least if you clear the land, somebody get in the work. Okay? I mean, how much longer are we going to tolerate these kind of things? Right? And nothing goes for it. Oh, man, the government has to do better than that, man. You got to stop wasting taxpayers' money like this. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. Well, like you like to say, just change them until you get the right result. But personally, I think we can change and change and change. We're not going to get any different result.
Well, yeah, that's true, because it does seem embedded in there's something about once you get into government, you just do things the same way. But at least you don't reward the incumbent, because that's part of it. You do not reward the incumbent if you don't deliver. That's the bottom line, I think.
Well, they rewarded
Yeah.
Trump. They rewarded Trump. Why not here? They
Who rewarded
I said
Trump?
they rewarded Trump by giving him a second term. Why not here?
They're balling now because everybody crying Venezuela and the TPS getting pulled back.
We balling now. But the world going to be very different after Trump.
Yep.
From the looks of things. I mean, a month gone yet? And look at the chaos.
No, not quite. No.
No, the 20th
Look at
hasn't.
the chaos that is being unleashed right now.
Yep. No, he put stuff on aluminum and steel.
Yeah, look at something like that. I mean, why would you just go after Canada and Mexico? Just 25%. That is what I can't understand, right? How could one man just decide, wake up one morning and say, I'm putting 25% on thing, and it gets done? Huh? That's something you expect of a dictatorship, not the world's leading democracy.
But that's what he wants.
Too many other things, too much input I would have expected would have gone into a decision like that, rather than one man getting up and decide it's going to be about tariffs, 25% here, 10% there. You know, if that's the new way of running things, boy, we're in a lot of trouble.
You know, it's funny. I was talking to my brother on Saturday, and when he said it, I didn't even catch on at first. So he said, so we're seeing the fall of Rome, and I was like, what do you mean? Because I was thinking we were doing a computer thing, right? A computer problem I called him about, and then so when he said the fall of Rome, I wasn't even thinking about Trump. Then he said the fall of Rome. I said, oh, I said, yeah, absolutely.
But you realize, I think it was a CBS poll saying that he's over 54%
Yeah,
approval.
I don't understand that.
Huh?
I don't
I
understand
can
that.
understand it because it seems as if he's shaking up things, right? People are tired of the same old, and they're just glad that things are being shaken up. Now, if further down the road, things are shaken up to their disadvantage, you can bet your life they're going to be blowback. But right now, they're basically saying, this is what we elected him to do. Just break things, mash up things, and then build them back. Because what we had wasn't working for us.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see if what they have now is going to work for them.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you,
So
Wayne.
yeah, can see you tomorrow.
Yeah,
Hopefully.
sure.
Yeah.
Right on.
Okay. Yeah. Good Wayne as usual from that caller. And we did start streaming late. It's what just over an hour now. So I think we could shut it down now. But once again, apologizing to our ardent listeners. We had some technical issues this morning.
Yeah, now we pleading to
Um,
the powers to fix the antenna. Or the,
Yes,
yeah,
yes.
people are complaining.
Because
Can y'all help us? Honorable Minister Maynard, please, extra please,
I don't
pretty
think
please.
I don't think that's well. I don't think that's.
I'm trying
really-
here.
Yeah, you
They're,
are. You
they're
are,
not
you
hearing
are.
us. People are saying they're waking up. They look forward to turning on their radios and listening to our chatter, and it's not happening.
Yeah,
They see me, they complain to me wherever they see me.
yeah. Same here. But
Please help us to help them, so that we can all be a federation that's informed and hearing each other. Sometimes some people have a morning routine that helps them get through their day, and that
Yeah.
includes listening to Win FM and the other radio stations. Help us, please.
Yeah, let's take this call before we go. Let's see what's going. Hey, caller, please be brief because we're gonna be shutting it down now. Hello, caller.
Hey, Johnson, man.
Hey, what's up?
I only got 30 seconds.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I wanted Mac to comment about that recently completed World Bank fair share report between St. Kitts and Nevis.
Oh,
And,
could you
are you
send
guys
that?
gonna bring the
Could you?
Prime
I
Minister
didn't know anything about that. Could you send that to me, maybe, if you know where to find it?
I don't have a link or anything on that, really.
Okay,
but
so I'll
you gotta
have to
look at
try
this
and
round table.
search.
You gotta look
I'll-
at this round table from last week. You gotta
Oh,
look at
okay.
this round
Okay,
table from
I'll ask
last
the
week.
newsroom about that then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My advice to him is that he should bring that document forward ASAP. Let transparency reign. That document needs to be shared by all of the leaders of all the parties in the federation. And concerning Trump, he's going to run out of steam. He's only sharing a show. He only has a show of power right now. But he's already rolling back stuff. That birthright citizenship stuff is rolling back. And the tariffs in Canada and Mexico is on hold. And just remember, most of his executive orders have been challenging code. He's not going to get his very everything. Very optimistic on that.
I just hope he doesn't get I just hope he doesn't get the Russian Trojan horse as the director of national intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard. I think they're supposed to vote on her today. I don't understand. It's like the guy just picks everyone. It's like he picks all the people who. It's like if you had to say who should not be doing a particular thing, he picks all the people who should be the last people you should consider. So I'm hoping Gabbard and Kennedy and what's the other one, Patel don't
make it.
Because I mean Patel has made his partiality clear.
Yeah, I think he was threatening Andrew Holness about joining BRICS.
Oh really?
Yeah. So we keep
Interesting.
watching them, man, and we continue the conversation tomorrow.
Yeah, we're gonna continue the conversation tomorrow.
And something for thoughts for
but try
tomorrow.
try to get the prime minister on to talk about the details of that World Bank fair share report.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
We've been waiting for that for 2.5 years, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna try.
All right, transparency
yes,
over everything else.
Sometimes when we try
Yeah,
to,
thanks a lot, man.
yes, as you know,
All right, man. Have a good day. We'll continue talking tomorrow.
same to you. Yeah, sometimes when we try to reach out to some people, sometimes it's hard to reach them. We try to get them to come on. You remember how last week I called about the passport thing with the third gender thing, and
Nobody still.
yeah.
But then we have something to talk about tomorrow. I wanted to touch on it today, but it slipped me. The fact that this former worker at Doge, that JD Vance asked to come back, what is the ethnicity of his wife? What's the ethnicity of his kids?
Oh, I didn't see that one. What's that about?
Yeah, the guy basically made a racial comment about Indian Americans.
Oh, really? Oh, I
And
didn't see that.
the vice president said bring him back to work. First he said he addressed the racist comment like anybody would, but then he still said bring him back to work. I'm gonna send it to you.
And he has an Indian wife, so
a
go
very
figure.
Indian wife.
Yeah, go
very,
figure.
very Indian wife. I don't understand. We're not standing for anything these days, and we're gonna fall for everything. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so it's we gave you guys what 67 minutes of island tea. Like I said, we did have some problems earlier with our computers, and seems that we got that sorted for now. So
Thank you for your patience with us.
yes, thank you
Thanks
for your
tuning
patience.
in.
That's why we started late this morning, because the computers went on strike.
So
Oh
come back
well,
tomorrow.
one computer went on strike, I should say.
Well,
Yeah.
technology.
Yeah. Okay. So I'll see you tomorrow.
Yes, you certainly will.
Okay.
As will the folks. So thanks you for tuning in, and have a blessed Tuesday. Remember to be nice, kind, smiley, everything good today. And every other day of
Smiley.
the week. Yeah.
Okay. So have a nice day. I'll see you tomorrow.
You too.
Okay. Love Week continues tomorrow on Island Tea. We should have a love quiz or something. What do you think?
You should find out why red is associated with Valentine.
That's easy.
And pink.
Pink?
Yeah, because
Pink.
red and pink and white are the colors that are synonymous with Valentine's.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Are we looking forward to your red and white shirt on Friday? With that said, have a good day. Bye.